Uh, that's a good one. uh, oh, sorry. Yeah, it's DJI. They just told me this funny joke about this action camera they made over a year ago that had a front-facing screen and had all these features. And yeah, I know. Hold on, let me tell them. And then GoPro came out with something to answer it, and you gotta buy the screen extra for 80 bucks. That's ridiculous. The Osmo Action, best camera available for online content creation, especially for sharing on social media. 100% I'm right and you're wrong if you disagree with me. So a lot of people say phones are the best tool for content creation for social media platforms, but I disagree. I mean, phones have come a long way and they have some pretty good cameras. But phones have to be a lot of things, keep in mind. Basically a mobile computer in your hand, and they also have a camera on them. Kind of like your laptop has a webcam, but you sure wouldn't go making movies with your webcam on your laptop, would you? Now, I'm not saying that your phone's like a webcam and it's at that level of quality. They're pretty good. They have some pretty good software-based stuff that works. This Osmo Action is just way more capable than any phone, has way more features, and as a bonus, it's a lot smaller too. So since the Osmo Action has been released, there have been seven, count them, 7 firmware updates on this thing. Most notably was the improvement in the lag. There used to be screen lag, so what you did and what it translated and showed up on the screen, it was about a 1 or 2 second delay. That's pretty much gone, fixed completely now. There's been also several improvements to the stabilization. They've really tweaked it. They've added stabilization for 4K 60, so you get up to 4K 60 with image stabilization on this little camera and a front-facing screen. Tell me another camera that does that for you, that's this small and costs under $300. Let's not forget that they've added features like hyperlapse, time lapse, added support for an external microphone, which is what I'm using right now. Most recently, they've added the ability to live stream directly from the Osmo Action using your Mimo app with your iPhone. I guess any phone, your Android, whatever. If you're one of those people that use a different kind of phone other than iPhone, I'm sorry for you. It's okay though, it's okay. There's people that have iPhones, and there's people who have phones that are like an iPhone. That's you. Look, I'm not saying that this camera can beat a full frame camera or even a lot of the APS-C cameras out there. I have both of those. I have a Sony a6400 and a a7 III, and the image quality out of those cameras is better. But I find myself grabbing this camera more often in environments like this, where I'm going to be walking around and talking to camera, than those cameras, just because it's easy use. I can just focus more on the content and less on fiddling with a camera and trying to make sure I get my shots right. So I made this little video I'm about to play for you right here, kind of a little exercise video, and I made it entirely with this little camera right here. Let me go ahead and play it, and then I'll talk to you about it after. I'm kind of proud of that video for me. You know, I'm kind of an amateur. And I was able to make that video and really focus on being creative and thinking of different ways I can utilize this camera that I just couldn't have done with a larger camera. And I spent more of my focus on creativity than I spent on trying to mess with all the settings in the camera. And this camera just allowed me to just focus on creativity, and I was still able to get a workout in, which I'm sure I wouldn't have been able to do that with another camera. It would have taken me 3 times as long to make that video. And lastly, had I decided to go ahead and use my a7 III or my a6400 to make that video, you probably were watching it on a mobile device and wouldn't have even noticed the increased quality. It would have been a lot more work on my end, but would the payoff have really been worth it? Would anybody have even noticed the difference? Most content we make for online consumption doesn't really require a full frame camera. You can make it a lot easier with a camera like this and focus more on your creativity. Speaking of social media, you can put this camera right here in portrait mode and capture videos and images ready to go to Instagram. All you got to do is simply transfer them to the DJI Mimo app, which is a snap right to your iPhone. And here I just want you to see how small this little package is I'm using. Let me use the iPhone and hopefully get a shot of this. You can see what we're using here is just simple and compact. I mean, this little microphone here on the edge, it's not bad. It'll get the job done, and you know, hopefully the image is pretty good. It's pretty windy today. So let's say you're ready to pick up this camera. How much is it going to cost you? Well, right now on B&H, you can pick this thing up for 280 bucks. Its biggest competitor is the GoPro Hero 8, and that's running $299 right now. They've got a special going for that. But I'd caution you, with the GoPro Hero 8, in order to get the same functionality with this front-facing screen, you've got to buy the Media Mod, $80. Then you've got to buy the front-facing screen attachment to the Media Mod, another $80. So an additional $160 on top of the $300. So you're looking at $460 to get the GoPro equipped like this one out of the box. Is this good content? Is this entertainment? Are you entertained by this? Do you find this entertaining? How does it handle this? How's the image quality in this situation? So bottom line, May of 2020, there is not another camera out there that beats this camera for capturing social media content, that beats it for image quality, ease of use, and price. So if you disagree and you think that there's better options out there, let's have a discussion down below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.